Hey Taurus, we are here to do your December read, and I'm having to do these as private live and then open them up because my other device is flat. Those of you who don't know, I'm a psychic medium as well as a twin flame. I connect the astrology and moon read. So if you haven't subscribed and you do search for those things, feel free to join the tribe. Now, if you're wanting an emergency booking during the silly season, the link is directly below, and I hope you had a very good Thanksgiving and moving into Christmas and New Year's. I hope that is very safe for you. Now, where I've pulled the energy through the cards, and I'm going to start tuning into them. Your year has been very unique, and you know this is going to continue. You guys are going through a massive transformative state. Now, with that energy, it's interesting because you know the planet that's in your sign at the moment, it's there through to 2026, and it very much is connected to spirituality. And being that it's your first house, every aspect of you is changing. Now, your psychic abilities may be increasing due to this. You do have celestial teacher as your crowning energy, quite literally, pardon the pun. And amethyst has been selected for this month's reads. Definitely by the end of the month, you're highly recommended to get into light frequency. Now, when we say that, it's being very mindful. Now, I use astrology to help with Ascension symptoms. I also try to give the collective who watches me on YouTube some tips and hints of, you know, the vibrations of what's coming. I check the Schumann resonance. And those are things so that as I move through my Ascension process, it helps me navigate through those subject matters. Now, each person with their Ascension symptoms, that it's past life related, if you believe in that. It's energies of lessons that you have to learn. It's how tough those lessons are on your physical body and how you cope with those things. So each person's, you could look at collective energy, but at the same time, it's always a very personal process when it comes to you specifically. So looking at the astrology, the one thing I can say is generally around Christmas and New Year's, you know, not for all obviously, but for some, we can be more prone to drinking and eating heavy foods and things to those degrees, which is quite traditional, you know, to indulge your senses. But at the same time, due to the astrology, you need to really bear in mind the fact that January is quite a risky time for those things. So you're recommended to get into light body frequency. That means a little bit of a detox, trying to get yourself grounded, get your chakras aligned, use crystals. I have said to the YouTube community that I serve and people that follow my videos, I will be attempting to do some videos to help us move through December and January so that we're more anchored in, because the aspects that are being made around that time are quite heavy and quite large. We are moving, we're sort of ending a karmic cycle, so to speak. So it can be very intense, especially if we're deemed as not in alignment. More in the factor of if we're doing something that we don't want to do anymore. Now, for your zodiac sign, it likes the aspects of tactile beauty. It is deemed as like a Venus house. At the same time, with the planet it's in at the moment, it's connected to spirituality, rebellion, enlightenment, addictivity, adultery, tribe, and wider group. And that's just in layman's terms. But it's very much your subconscious mind and, you know, your psychic downloads, and you've definitely got celestial teacher. And when I say crown chakra, amethyst, it's very light, but it is purple in tone on my side. The light is flashing. So I'm channeling using this, but it's going to be quite important. Now, your crown chakra is linked to Gaia source and your psychic downloads and your energy of your perspective and perception. This is something that you guys are going through, and you might feel quite fatigued. Now, when you're having that upgrade energetically, especially being it's your first house, it can be quite exhausting. So sometimes when you're going through Ascension symptoms, you can get very tired, more so than the usual. Yes, it's the end of the year. I'm also picking, which is something that's been coming through with all the zodiac signs. As I mentioned in a previous video, you know, I work as a medium, so I'm psychic, and you know, various people will have different aspects of the gift. It can be empath, it can be you know, it's all linked to intuition. It's your crown chakra, it's the development of those energies over the years. And noticing, due to the fact that I couldn't get rid of the gift, which, you know, at that stage as a child, yes, I wanted to, I had to learn to work with it to protect myself, so to speak. So I've developed it over the years. One thing I have noticed, though, is I do channel your loved ones that are passed over. Interestingly enough, there is a lot of energies of past over loved ones coming through in every read. That could be directly connected to the astrology for us actually to be protected. It's also when we feel physically stuck that they actually come through. They're always present with you. It's more they're louder during particular times, and you'll find that's birthdays, anniversaries, the day they passed, you know, big events happening in your life. Their energy is higher during those times. They can even be going through negative processes in your life that is quite challenging. They can be around you. So bear in mind that this can be where you're sensing the vibration of that person or people, especially with the amethyst and the crown energy. You know, the only way to really clear that energy is using crystals. Your lower chakras can block, especially your egoic mind. So if you're getting stuck in your third eye, it will actually block your crown chakra off. So eating food groups connected to that chakra can actually open it up. You do need to be very, what would the word be? You've got to be very mindful when you're using crystals, because you can almost, very similar to medication at a theoretical level, you can actually have an overdose of the frequency. So if your third eye is opening and your crown chakra is being activated, sometimes, especially with the Neptunian energy, it has gone direct. But, you know, during the last few weeks, you might have found that, how do I put it? It can come across quite distorted unless you're anchored in. So, you know, always pay attention to where Neptune is and what it's doing. When it's stationary, it's neither here nor there. So you're quite unsure how to have a perspective on something connected to delusions and illusions, and, you know, what these downloads are. My phone. Tuning back out. I'm going to turn it over because I don't. Sometimes. Okay, so with the crown chakra, white light yourself, use the crystals, but be mindful. I met a lady in a shop one time, and I walked into it. It was a crystal shop, and when I walked in, I had this vibration all of a sudden. I was like, oh, this is interesting. And usually I'm very selective about how I use my gift. I'm not the type of medium or psychic that will project that to you. It's not. So if I'm getting a message, you know, you see people on shows and things to that degree, and they're walking to you up in the street. Last 2 months, yes, that has been getting heavier, where it's really being like, you know, my guides are really forcing me like it's an urgent message, and it's potentially why a lot of guides are coming through the reads this month. So I do find that to be quite synchronistic, that it's almost like they're going to be protecting us, anchor our energy in, and assisting us through the next 3-month process. So I do find it to be quite unique, especially since, generally speaking, I will not give a person a reading without their direct permission. But if there is an urgent message, it's almost like an out-of-body experience that takes over. But generally, that's not the way I am. When you use the amethyst, what you do need to be mindful of is if you are moving through that ascension process and you're dealing with an overwhelming energy or potentially tuning into toxic situations, overusing the amethyst can actually be to your detriment, you know, so it can be quite risky. So just be mindful, you know, you assess what you think is going to work for you, and assess the vibration. Sometimes even crystals will physically break because they've served a purpose at that point in time, and it's not to say later you might not need it or you might not need to get another one. And obviously if it happens again, it's not necessary. You've moved through that frequency. So your crowning chakra is coming up. and this is what is going to be very important. It's like intuitively speaking, really trusting in what you're sensing, feeling, understanding you're evolving and being gentle with yourself, detoxing, being prepared, you know, moving through the end of the month and being mindful. It's more reflective than usual this month. Yes, obviously around Christmas and New Year's, moving into the end of the year, it is a deeply reflective time. But I'm also picking almost hermit energy where a situation or, you know, potentially having Ascension flu, getting quite run down so you can have that final purge connected to a scenario. Now, I have pulled energies for your general. I've also pulled energies for money, work, family, love, the unseen, and your romance house. So we can really kind of dig into that situation of what potentially could be coming up in a channeling kind of mediumship way. Now, the first thing off the bat, again, as I mentioned, this has been coming through, ancient forest in reverse. Now, it makes sense to me. Now, this can be connected to ancestors, an old way of doing things. It's very much earth energy, also with the green coming through its heart chakra. Now, your first card, in reflection of the past, you're going to have epiphanies, especially when you're trying to work out who you are in that moment. Not who you were in the past, because who you were in the past, it's almost like it was alien to you. It felt normal at the time, but now due to the transformative state you're physically going through, and it's almost like when you go through that process, you do have a lot of things shredded away from you, so it feels very frightening. It can be jobs, it can be people, it can be going into hermit mode, rejecting certain food groups and friendship groups and tribe, and almost feeling like you don't quite fit in. And that evolution of you personally can be extremely frightening. It's not, we do permanently change ongoingly, regularly. It's more that in your subconscious mind in the 12th house, you're going to be more aware of it. So it can feel more frightening and unusual. But regardless of what that is, it's, how would I put it? It's happening nevertheless. And so it feels like you're on a roller coaster ride. Now, ancient forest in reverse, the energies I'm getting, I'll tune into it further. You might have felt quite foreign in your own family. You might have felt old ways of doing things simply aren't working. And the reflection back, you know, you're going to understand as this month progresses why certain things played out and where you are today and where you're moving into 2020, and it will make complete sense to you. I feel it's like an epiphany moment, and as I mentioned with the 12th house activation, the amethyst coming through, you could potentially, you know, if you're avoiding yourself and things going on and there's too much going on in the external, it's almost like those energies, if it's divinely guided, will be physically removed so that you can sit in that meditative state. And it's very much forced upon you, so to speak. Whenever you know, I had a reader give me a card one time, and it's always stuck out of my mind, and it's beautiful that it came out for me because it's really helped me to do things that I'm doing right now. And the card said, listen. And the funny thing was, you know, very 3D, when it was coming to this read, I was like, and she said to me, what does that mean for you? I was like, I don't know, maybe it will mean something for me later. She goes, it will, but what does it mean to you? At that point, listen, then listen. The listening is actually, you know, what are you feeling about something? How do you feel? Are you listening to yourself? Are you loving yourself? Are you, when you're feeling, I don't want to do that, but you're saying yes, are you listening to yourself? No. And the inner vibration and the crown chakra is listening. Okay, your mind's eye and the perspective that's coming down is listening. It feels as though everything that you knew has gone. It just feels really different. It was consistent. It could have been a situation that was going on for a long time. It could have felt like you've gone through the ringer too many times. But you're seeking more consistency in your life. You're actually seeing patterns of the past. you may even feel very exhausted to the point you're just accepting what's going on and that you can't do things the old way any longer, and you're accepting of that. You are going to move out of, if you are feeling unwell, it's saying you will energetically, once you purge, upgrade where you won't feel that. And this is where the freedom in your life's coming from. I do also feel there's a pause. You've wanted to achieve certain things, and it seems quite paused at the moment, and it can be quite frustrating, especially during this time. And especially with the energy of Jupiter transferring, because it's really moving, you know, when we move into 2020, it's moving signs. And so that energy of expansion was coming through last month, but you can be quite burnt out. The Freedom Horse, providing you've done everything you needed to do by the end of the year, I feel, you know, by tying up those loose ends, you're going to feel a lot more free. Try not to rush too much into 2020 because it's going to reach soon enough. And January can be a little bit rough, but I do find 2020 to be super positive and tuning into it. I did see another reader mention the Eye of the Storm, and I almost do feel it's very much directly connected to that. And depending on where you are in your ascension journey and how awake you are, you will cope with it at a different degree. Some of that energy, if you have moved into quite an enlarged ascension state, if that's even a term, you may be ahead. So you may have already experienced an aspect of the astrology before it's even panned out. Some of you are wanting to move locations. You don't like where you're living. You're not loving it. And it's not the people, places and things. It's just you're evolving. I'm seeing the open road as well for some people. So that open road can be, you know, exactly. So the confirmation is you don't dislike them. They're not your enemies. It's just you're unsure. You're wanting to find that niche for yourself. You're wanting to be, you know, yeah, moving home. Told you. It's not about the home. It's about you. Okay. So the freedom, if you're finding, here's an additional message. Your guides are noisy. Okay. Each card I pulled directly has said exactly what I've just said. So that's why I'm quite amused. You have changed, okay? So love in reverse. It's like if you fancy free and you've got freedom, you want to be able to do what you want to do. Simple as that. It's not rocket science. It may have been that you don't have a loved one with you. It might be that, you know, even healing from that aspect so you can potentially move forward. Doesn't even have to be connected to the here and now. It can be a very old energy. This or most recent, okay? So it's a loved person that potentially isn't here, or you're just not with them, okay? So it's confusing you. You might feel the need to run, but you can't run from yourself. Oh, this is so ironic that I'm saying this. I did say that to my father once. You know, it's being your own best friend, seeing the truth of a situation, not about a home, not about a person, not about a place. It's the new beginning, okay? And I'm not saying this as a child. I'm definitely seeing this as a seed you've planted, a healing that you're going through, and a new beginning you're having. But it's definitely childhood wounds to do with situations. And I do feel there's two areas in your life coming up. This could be a parent figure. This could be a past tense partner. I do feel on either side of the fence, there's a male and a female. One potentially could have been very, could have been a relationship, but that a male and a female energy, okay? So this healing is affecting the 3D, and this can even be mirroring in your own 3D life, where due to that experience, it may be that you wish to remove the energy by walking away when it's actually residing inside. And once you heal that, the people that you feel are running or the people that you feel aren't in alignment, I feel that energy will anchor in. Yeah, it's doing the work. Okay, you won't need to fight this. It will naturally come through. There is a young energy coming through as well. There's a new way of doing things. You know, what I'm seeing is there's a situation that's going to pan out after this fact, and you'll almost have an aha moment. It's a new way of doing things. It's not necessarily the way your kin did it.
It's not necessarily the way your family thought. And it's almost like you guys think very differently. Seeing the truth of the situation. And I feel you're seeing both sides of the fence. There can be an immature energy around you. It can be your perspective. It even could be connected to a love interest. But this energy that's around you, you're looking at it. I'm also saying that you're wanting to be more playful. You're wanting to have more of a lighter time and a bit more fun. Not everything being so serious. I also do see, for those of you that aren't working, there is a very abundant situation coming towards you. You don't know, it's like your intuition may even be telling you. It's so ironic because I've literally placed the amethyst right next to the last card, which is connected to fortune, abundance, but it comes from within and then it emanates out. At the moment, like I said, and this is your third eye, if this is your perspective where you're feeling stuck, the universe always does things to potentially help you heal, and then you're released. But it's a perspective. I do feel you guys are pretty worried about money because it's come up twice. It's both above here, you know, a new way of doing something, potentially needing to get a new job, tying up your financial loose ends. Some of you might even be thinking, gee, you know, everything has changed so much. Could have been a house, could have been a change of romance, could have been people passing. It just feels such major things. That you physically almost in your third eye processing all of what's transpired. But there is fortune around the corner, and this is in every shape and form. In your financial sector, you've got prayer feather in reverse, right? And I feel this is to do with the fact that you're thinking, you know, it'll come as a surprise, but the surprise is the fortune coming towards you, okay? It's going to come in a very unique way. I do remember saying to my mother once, I told her she was going on a holiday. I'm so tired. I told her she was going on a holiday, and she says, that's impossible. I don't have my passport, don't have any money at the moment. And I said, you're questioning. I'm telling you what is, which is if you accept the vibration inside you, it directly is attracted to you. Abraham Hicks actually preaches this. The laws of attraction are what you need will come to you, realistically speaking. If you're on a soul path, what's going to happen is going to happen, even if you don't think it's so. And I've truly experienced that. But while you're thinking, I need to do X, Y, and Z to get it, you're missing the point that there's external energies that have power too. Above energies that have power too. So it's not all, and we do get this very, especially in the crown chakra when we're manifesting, you know, the egoic experience, it blocks that because it's here, it's very 3D. That's the only way. And once you physically don't know how you're going to sort something and you detach, it literally solves itself for you. It could be through the grapevine. If you haven't got a job, suddenly a friend says, hey, you know, come January, can you start the 1st of January? It could be something as simple as winning lotto. Those things. So those things come at left field, and this is a surprise, and it's directly connected to fortune. The fortune comes in heart chakra, fortune comes in love. It could be in another person having these things where you physically didn't need them, where the tying up of your loose ends is all placing you for the future for where you're supposed to be. Again, some of you have lost, and I do feel there is an energy of a male and a female figure that's passed over. Okay, in the context of your work, there's going to be a new way that this is going to be done. Now, this could be a new way you're going to do your employment, a new way that, you know, it's causing conflict though. So you've got all this creative energy. Your creative energy seems semi-blocked though. This is your sacral chakra, which again, when you're processing, you find, especially in retrogrades, the lower chakra is directly impacted. I'm going to pull a chakra card. You potentially could have have had a person, because I'm not feeling have had a toxic person around you that's tuning into you. Whenever I yawn in a video, it's the energy around you. Crown chakra, okay? You're blocking it. It's like it's there. It's trying to give downloads. Make peace with this, and this energy will extend to source, okay? It can be a need to meditate, but I do feel if you're not happy in the location you're at working, make peace with that. Accept that. Don't be hard on yourself. Listen. There also could be a time where you might be more busy than usual. For some of you, that applies. Don't wear yourself out, though. Okay. I just keep feeling you guys are going to have a new way of doing work or a new employment. It may require travel to a different location. It's karma. Look at this. Okay. Case pipe in reverse. Song of the Wild in reverse. Now, the two messages I'm getting from this. You need to speak your truth as to what you're wanting. Now, if it's simply you just need a break, that's fine. But if you are particularly unhappy in an environment and you wish to change it, it's almost like I do feel you need a break, whatever that is, be it at a more a permanent level where you're leaving it. And this can be something you've just been working on, but I'm tuning in a sense of work, but potentially, yes, it can be something you've been working on has really exhausted you. You don't want to fight with it. You just want to meditate. You want to feel how you're feeling about the situation so you can proceed forward. You're trusting your intuition, and you do trust that your interconnection. You're wanting more spirituality, work-life balance. You don't want to repeat this year. You don't want to repeat. You want something different in a sense that it's balanced, it's more harmonious, there's no fighting. I feel you don't have a lot of energy for that. I mean, in your family, I do feel you're going to have massive get-togethers, and this can be seeing people from the past, it can be over Skype or Messenger, or physically traveling towards them. It feels very positive. Your family doesn't have to be DNA. Okay, your family can directly be people that you find are your tribe, and this is a huge subject matter moving into 2020. You've got tribal spiritual dance. Now, this is also your loved ones on the other side, trying to tune into you and trying to give you messages in relation to your emotions, what you're feeling. You need to really trust them, and this can even be, you know, with your creativity. Your love domain, you've got spirit of earth, and this is a very grounded energy. This could be an earth sign. Again, I do feel really guided to say this is a more grounded situation coming in regardless of the zodiac sign. Whoever this person is, be it you're with them or you're not, this person and what your energy is attracting at the moment is a more grounded human being. It is also to do with your creativity, and it can be, if you do meet someone, be very cautious, especially if you're planning to have a child. You know, this does bode quite well this month for conceiving, astrologically speaking. They do say that if you do around this time of the month, you're more inclined to get a boy, and that's been written in astrology. So I do feel some of you do want to have a child. And I'm feeling this, I'm hearing October. It could be a message for one direct person. This child can come in a different form as well. It can actually be through a person separating and they have children and they're entering your life. I do only see one child, though, on this occasion connected to this individual potentially. This could be a brand new child. So if they do have more, it's physically your child with them. For others of you, it's a person coming into your life that already has one child. Service cards come through for the clarification of love. Look, some of you might meet this person through work, but I'm feeling more they're going to do the work on this connection, whoever this person is. Let's get into the romance side of things and see what's coming through on your side. So that's general. The unseen is you're going to know where you're going, right? You got tracker. So this is why I suggested with celestial teachers, the advice I gave you with the amethyst, the techniques I've mentioned. I feel having a little bit of downtime, don't get it to the point where you're feeling run down and unwell, because the information that's coming to you, if you want to know where you're going in 2020, just by sitting there, it's within the power of what you want to do, which is changeable. We can't change other people and individuals, but you do have to listen to what you need, regardless of what another needs, because I do feel you can actually track down a pattern. And some of you, I'm telling you, I'm feeling you guys travel. This is more traveling next year for you guys. It's quite adventurous, but you're going to have to bounce for that. It can be to go and see family, but it's divinely guided. You're getting back to your roots. This is also with the spiritual connection that you've had prior. There is movement, okay? So this is what's coming to the forefront for you. Now, your overall energy in the way you're looking at love at the moment is there's healing going on, okay? Universe is trying to heal you. You're physically upgrading. Try and protect your energy core. Like I said, use Tourmaline if you feel spiritually attacked in some shape or form. And definitely do meditations prior to the end of the year. You should always, on a daily, check in with yourself and feel how you're feeling. How does the vibration of the house feel? How do you feel? How do the connections that are around you feel? And if you're changing that vibe, if you're feeling a vibe change, might light yourself, anchor your energy and wash yourself if you need to, so that you're actually protecting your auric field. I do feel you're deeply protected. It can be you're super overprotected in romance at the moment with the way you perceive and experience it. This person is having an epiphany moment. They know that this is a situation for them. They know where they're going. It's like they've just completely awoken. There's a lot of passion here. You don't even have to be with this person, but this person tuning into you is deeply passionate about you. They're also making reference to the fact that they want to move with you. This can even be overseas. It can be a physical holiday they want to have with you, and it can be to a specific destination. Could even be something that you guys have already talked about. I do feel this is part of the connected surprise, because it's come up in 2 locations within your reach. I mean, you're looking at them like, gee, you've changed. Can I trust you? And again, I'm guided to the moon energy, because on their side and your side, their side has a moon, your side has a moon. Look how it is. Something went down for them, and they feel they're very down without you. They're going through the ebbs and flows very similar to you. It might be that they're researching, what's going on with them. It could even be Ascension symptoms, but I do feel this conversation is going to come up with you guys. And you guys are going to move forward together. You potentially may wish to move forward without them, but I'm feeling for a portion of you, you do wish to, at the heart of it, it's Spirit Cobra of the East, which is directly moving forward. I'm going to pull a clarifier on these. Okay, what is the smudge ceremony for Taurus? Yeah. Communication's coming in, okay? Something of a nature of a message is coming in. Keep your thoughts very positive, okay? Don't panic. Keep your thoughts positive. But I do feel you're in a bit of fear, okay? They're leaving a situation, your cross-watcher, your love interest is leaving a situation that doesn't resonate with them any longer. This can be a physical job, or it can be physically choosing not to work on things that are over, and they're focused on reconnection with you. This can be if they did reunite. There's two messages, a reuniting that they've left and a reunion they're wanting with you. For those of you where you guys are in a relationship, this is a very important time. You know, shapeshifters, you potentially, and I'm not feeling this to be negative, I literally, like the last reading I did, I felt this to be deeply negative. I think it was in Leo's. And it was them seeing people for who they were. You know, this energy, I'm legitimately feeling it's like you're quite astounded and shocked at how much you've changed and this person. It's so different. The moon energy, you're both working with the ebbs and flows of it, and I do feel between the eclipse, this is potentially when you may hear. Don't hold down to a time frame, though, for those of you who aren't in contact with this individual, because I do feel regardless, it can be physically that what they're dealing with is happening during that eclipse season. Yeah, okay, potentially after Christmas, because this is celebration in reverse, so I used as a clarifier. I do. And I had already mentioned it might be after that fact, but it's occurring during that time. That's what they're showing me. You've got plenty of room. So all these changes, all these shifting and these upgrades that you've been through, all of a sudden there's more room for this person when you release. Both of you, you know, have gone through quite a bit in your own lives, very separately. They can feel your energy. It's vice versa. Like you guys, even if you're together, you feel each other's energy. They're leaving old energies behind. This can be employment. This can be a karmic energy. They're leaving something behind, you know, and the communication is going to flow a lot better. And obviously, because Mercury is direct, you know, these energies will start proceeding forward. This person feels it's not over till the fat lady sings. That's what I'm hearing. And they do know that you're a bit down at the moment. You want some movement and change. And some situation is going to transpire to actually bring the hope back in this connection. Okay, last messages for Taurus. I want to take this to the next level with you, okay? They've done their work. They're taking a fresh approach to this, out with the old, in with the new. Okay, any warnings? Any warnings for Taurus? Okay, keep moving forward. Know that this is part of your journey. Everything that's happened that you're thinking is blocking you and preventing you, don't wait. Be in the present moment. Seek happiness, because this is how to align your vibration. You won't need to do anything. Just do the work on yourself. That's all you need to do. This is the law of attraction, and everything that you're deserving of is coming towards you. Yes, I totally agree. Okay? We do have crap that happens in our life, and we think, well, if we were in deservingness and vibration alignment, why then did we attract that? When we have spiritual blockages come up, they already existed inside our vibration. So because we weren't, you may not have even been subconscious about it, and then suddenly it came into the ethers. You have to have the dark and the light. This reality of what's coming through for you is divine manifestation, but it's very much linked to your vibration shifting. And I do feel this person has felt quite stuck also. And with the communication coming through, I'm legitimately feeling it's communication as to how synchronistic both of the things were connected to your path and their path. And this can be a new energy, but it's feeling like a person you're either with or a person that you've dealt with before for many. I'm just waiting to see if there's any other messages. Some of you guys might be looking at actually changing a vehicle. You might not have the means to, I'm seeing a vehicle. I'm seeing a new vehicle. It's blue. This can also be if you are meeting somebody, they may have a blue car. It looks like a four-wheel drive. Might be for some of you. I feels it looks like a little four-wheel drive. Might be like it. Hat, sure. But I'm seeing blue. Don't be surprised if you actually get a phone call from someone. If you have moved house, it's like they've been to see you, but you're not there. And you're going to hear through the grapevine. It's going to be very odd. You'll be like, yeah, but I'm not there. It might be that you're out or that you've moved locations. I feel somebody is giving you a heads up that that actually occurred. And it's quite confusing to you. And then they turn up at your door. So just be mindful of that. I shall see you during the month. And we will be doing reads very much connected to the moon energies, the astrology. I'll do the twin flame updates. Again, if you are wanting a very personalised read, and I can tune into your loved ones, and yes, I will actually describe what they look like. Obviously, this being a collective read, there's too many to read for that. You can go to the link below. And thank you for all of you that have been here for me over the last 3 years. Much appreciated. And I will see you on the other side. Happy New Year, guys.